We know there are many choices in internet radio, and the staff and host of LA Talk Live would like to thank you for choosing the internet's hottest destination for the most eclectic sound and invigorating talk. This is LA Talk Live. We are more than just talk.
Hear me, Super Bowl Sunday.
Say what?
History Month. Whoa.
Can't you see what's going on?
I can see, but I don't know the song.
That's a shame. It's only our theme song.
I know,
and here go
right?
Van Eric taking it all down. I can hardly hear the
Took it
music.
down. We didn't have a chance
What's
to
up
get
with
into
that?
it. Brooke, pull it back up in
Can't
there.
you focus
Super
on
Bowl
us?
Sunday.
You know timing. Or your timing is like
it's
off.
gospel
Okay?
rhythms.
Don't be mad just because you're teaming up.
I feel a rap coming on. Says sitting here with my girl Ro. I said we're sitting here. I said I'm feeling the flow. Gospel rhythms in the house. Trisha, Man, Grant too. Rosine, the Williams, and we love you. I said happy Sunday. What's up?
What you know about the Gospel Rhythms magazine?
Yeah.
What's up? This is the Party Heavens Party representing Christ to the fullest. You know what I'm saying? We just love
Feeling that free
love.
flow.
Yeah, exactly.
Free flow.
Just
yes.
having fun. Well, I mean, what the heck? You know, it's a Super Bowl Sunday. You know, it's Black History Month. I said heck, okay? You know, I'm working progress. Heck. You know, I slipped earlier off camera. But hey, I repented. Hey, this is the way it is. I'm a word
You
in progress.
repented?
Of course. Like on the spot while it's still fresh in my memory.
Well, that's good. That's good.
So at the end of the day, I'll be like, it's a Kuma Matata.
At the end of the day,
the
when you
past.
say it again, you can repent some more.
No. Thank you very much. Okay.
Hey, girl.
What's happening?
You look
Give me
good.
some. I held it down
Hey.
tremendously last week.
Oh, who told you that?
Everybody.
Tell me. Oh, that's so sweet. Everybody told you that. You know what? It was such a great show. Evan Lionel and Tony Grant and
It was a Man Talk edition.
It was the Man Talk edition. Oh my gosh, we had so many people. Jeff Arnold, comedian.
I heard it was an intense show that it even went over. And you know what is so funny? I was watching. Did you ever see that Chris Rock movie where he was running for president? And for those of you who didn't tune into the show, or if you did see our show, it was about men who are fathers who are struggling with either their ex-wife or their wife or their baby mama, but it's just drama, you know. And I thought of that movie because all through that movie, Robin Givens, your former co-star, castmate,
yes, from Mrs. Independent.
she was stalking him through the whole movie and causing drama and just like, you're my husband. I mean, they didn't actually have a kid together, but you know, I just made me think of the topic of your show and the stress that these guys are under. They're actually they're really working and endeavoring to be parents to their children, but the women,
you know, I was so disappointed in how many men, not just those guys, but how many men I've actually spoken to who have said that there's so many women that lie and are treacherous and try to use the children as pawns against them. It's called parental alienation. And I even went online. I've pretty much done my homework, and I'm just sickened at how many of us
don't point at me.
No. I said we represent the female. We represent the female race, and that's why we always have to represent properly. So to my sisters in all nationalities, I'm going to need you all to step up the game when it comes to the breakups and divorces and how you handle it with your children. And I know I got on my little soapbox for 2 minutes last week and the week before, and guess what? I'm going to get on it again because it's serious, and you all don't understand how you really, really hurt your children, because you're depriving them of something that they need, something that God really want it to be, which is the husband and the wife. And if the husband and wife isn't going to make it still be the proactive mother and the proactive father and co-parent properly for the sake of these kids, get over your issues, over your anger, over your frustration, because he's moved on. Because baby, guess what? If a man has moved on, trust me when I tell you, that's exactly what he wants to do. Because he wanted to be with you, he would be with you.
That's easier said than done. And they say hurt people hurt people. That is why you have EL who's when he went to his wife and let her know that the marriage was over, she said, oh, okay. And she walked away as a woman scorned and came back and hit him with a restraining order and accused him of abuse he never did to her. That's why you have our very own engineer who shared his story about how a woman he was just being kind to, who was, I guess, put off by the fact that what she understood their relationship to be was not what he understood the relationship to be, lied on him. What did she say? She said this.
She told the police that I raped her in front of her son.
Right. So it's like,
and there's so many of those stories, and no, it's not easier said than done, because as I've said before, I have 2 children.
But some people are just crazy. Let's just some people are just crazy.
They just need mental help. Women, whether they're crazy or not, if you're crazy, get some mental help. If you need Jesus, please go to church. Please pray. Please read your word. Please ask him to come into your heart and your mind and your soul, so that you can do what's right as a mother for your children, because it's no longer about you. As much as I wanted some things from my past without going into detail, I had to readjust my mindset and go, I got to make sure that my kids have a healthy relationship with their fathers. That is what I welcomed. It's not easy when you see your ex move on with someone else. It's not. But we have to let go of, God says, vengeance is mine. It's his, not ours. So it's not up to us to be vengeful. If the man did do you wrong, because I'm not saying that sometimes that we're not done wrong. And I don't want the women out there that have been done wrong. But it's how you handle it. If you've been done wrong, then you contend with him, O Lord, who contends with me. Fight against him who fights against me. Take up shield and buckler, arise and come to my aid. Brandish spear and javelin against those who pursue me. Say to me that you are my salvation. That's what you do. You go to the word. You go to Psalm 35. You go to all those things. You ain't got to cuss nobody out. You don't have to do voodoo. You don't have to physically harm them. But you know what? It's so much in this word where you can go and pray to God and say, Lord, I'm hurt. I'm upset. He did this. He did that.
Yeah, you can go in and just be honest blatantly. And then I think we're in your mind where you keep reliving the incident and it's still as fresh as the day it has happened. You have to do what the word says, guard, allow the Lord's word to guard your heart and your mind, so that his peace that surpasses all understanding. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I know what you're saying. And in service today, Pastor Sanchez said, the process gets us to the progress, which brings us to our promise. So whether he or she did you right or wrong, because there are men out there that have been done wrong and they're left with the kids. It's not just all on the women either. So this boat goes 2 ways, unfortunately, but it's just more with the men dealing with this from women right now, from what I'm understanding. However, the process, which is not going to be easy, that's why they call it a process, will bring you to the progress. And through the progress, you will have the promise that God has for you. So we have to
and when you say that, when you say the process of allowing God's work to work in your life, because there's going to be a process, but with the process of life or death you choose, because it's all contingent upon the choices that you make. Right. And let me just break it down from a practical aspect. Lay the scripture aside, but you're going after this man, and like EL said, he was saying how he was spending thousands and thousands of dollars in lawyers' fees and court visits. That is money that you have now taken out of your children's pocket and just give it to the man. Now, guess what? His kids.
Wait, which man knows?
Give it to the man, the lawyer,
system. And you're giving it to the system.
You might as well went to the club and just like making it rain on the lawyer and his family, because guess what? His kids are going to college and probably private school and dressing very well, and his bills are paid. Meanwhile, you guys are like, you think you're really hurting your ex, and
they are.
They are, but you also are hurting yourself. You know what I'm saying? Right. And your children.
Oh, wait, take it a step further. And you reap what you sow.
They don't care about that, but you will get back.
It doesn't matter whether they care about it. It don't matter whether you care about it. It's word.
Oh, but how about
it's
this?
The truth.
Even if you don't care about what happens to you, you bring it down on your kids' head. You know what I'm saying? Because those kids will grow up and they'll be all dysfunctional and emotional. And you know what I'm saying? You don't want you want to set your children up for success in life. Nobody brings a child into the world saying, "I hope you grow up to fail." So stop enabling them. Stop give them all the tools and the resources to strengthen them. And another thing, you're bitter and you're mad. Stop hating on the ex and by telling the kid in their ear, your daddy ain't nothing, your daddy ain't Jack, your daddy is Jack. Well, whatever. Because let them formulate their own opinion.
Trust me.
Yeah. They'll be able to see the real.
Let me say this. Kids grow up. And when they grow up, they have their own mindset and they can think for themselves and they see things on their own. So you don't need to dog the dad. If the dad is really a dog, he will be seen by the child on their own. They will figure it out eventually. But it's best that you don't go around bad mouthing the father, or in the male's case, bad mouthing the mother. Okay, because remember, we're still teaching values into these children. We can't say on one hand, bless those that curse you, pray for your enemies, think positive, uplift and always speak life into your life. But yet we're speaking death into their biological parent. Trust me, whatever God wants them to see, they'll see eventually. Time brings about a change. It's amazing. So, we're just speaking to the ladies out there. It was a great show. It was a good show. If you didn't get a chance to see it, make sure that you go back, check it out. And for the women out there that are hurting and going through something, I'm praying for you. And I pray that you do speak life into your life and into your kids' lives. And that you do pray for the fathers, no matter who they're with or what they're doing, that you still lift them up in prayer because they're still the father of your child.
And I just want to say one thing too, to the homegirls and the homeboys and the friends, associate family members, parents of the person scorned, whether you're the mom or you're the dad, speak life to that situation. Don't help perpetuate the hate, or advance the hate towards the you know what I'm saying? Because it's just only gonna make it worse, snowball the situation out of control. If you got a girlfriend like you, my friend, because he did you wrong, I hate him now. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And I'm encouraging you. Yeah, you need to take him, girl. You need to take him for everything he got. Matter of fact,
that's a good
point. You want to do like waiting to exhale. You know what? I'll go with you. I got my hair braided up, my Vaseline on my face. Because this man owned a home, and she went on. Once with the restraining order and everything aside, the neighbor was like, girl, he back over here. You might want to all up in the business.
And she could have just not.
She just could have moved on,
not called the police. Not made a big deal about it. Just let that man go into his house because it was still his house. And we're speaking of the last show, so y'all got to check it out so you can catch up on what we're talking about.
But haters need to stand down basically and just allow a person's situation, because you too have now sown seeds that will come back on your life.
Yeah, but you brought up such a great point. It's like, for the people that cannot think for themselves, they're being influenced by their friends
all the time.
They're hanging around people that are planting poisonous seeds in their minds. So people, we have to get our own mindset. We have to be strong enough not to be led the wrong way. We have to even know when we're getting bad advice.
Oh, yeah.
Whether it's from your mother, your sister, your cousin, or your friend, we don't always get good advice. So if we're in the Word, if we're in prayer, if we're trying to really have a spiritual connection with God, trust me, He'll pull your coattail. He'll tug on you and say, okay, you know what? That's not a good decision, or don't go that way.
And for those that are strong-willed like myself, and a friend calls with some mess, and I have to be like, yeah, you might want to pray about that. I don't think I'm the best authority to give you any advice.
Because you get mad.
Because on the low, I have to say, now I might not tell them this, be like, now girl, you don't want to ask me what I think about that situation, because I don't think I need to sit in the presence of God before I even think about lending an assistance, supporting you. All I can do is offer prayers of support and a listening ear. Because your experience and how I think I would handle it and manage it, or like, I don't want to be that person that help push you over the edge of acting out, because now I'm emotionally taken to a place where I might get you thinking of things you wouldn't even thought of doing, but because I'm because I'm where I am in my creative thinking, I just need to shut up and just pray for you and pray for me.
And you're passionate. See, she's so passionate. I've had several conversations with her.
We had a conversation this morning,
recently.
Right? Hold up.
Seven to New England.
New England.
What?
New England's winning?
Second quarter?
They cheating.
Right,
they
we
probably
just had
cheating.
a Super Bowl moment there. Thanks to Veneric. Super Bowl update.
We actually better get to the commercial.
Do you think people are actually watching? You think they're watching?
Of course they are. There are other people. This is an international show. This is just the United States probably ain't watching.
Look, everybody international want to see the Super Bowl too. You know.
But wait. Before we go to commercial, I just got to share. This is the instance when we actually have a wonderful show today. We have God really just reorchestrated because we were going to be talking about when bad things happen to good people, but that got.
We can still kind of go there.
We're about to address it right now briefly before going to the commercial because I was going to share something. But
you know what? We should probably address that before we go to commercial. What you think?
But we have Indigenous Rhythms Productions up in the house. I know it says presents, but I'm like
Culture
entertainment
Fest.
Production company. They'll correct me when they come on.
Yes,
and we are so blessed because it is Black History Month, although today is Super Bowl Sunday. But this is a prime example of how I need to But I'm glad I have my sister in Christ to vent to because I shared with her that my best friend was home invaded last night, where he actually came into the house, woke her up out of a deep sleep with a knife to her throat, talking about "Give me all your money." Now, mind you, she just relocated. When he came in through the bottom, the ground floor door, ain't a stitch of furniture nowhere. So we already kind of think that he's connected with the locksmith that was just there, but. My girl here was like, no, because it's just too coincidental. You know, when you put the pieces together, I mean, the police are still working it out. But the main thing is Trisha, man, great, her loving the Lord. She says, we can talk about this, but we're going to have to get some scriptures to back it up. And I said, I got one. Peace be still. I'm going to grab me a piece of steel. That's what I say, how I'm going to handle it. Go Medea up in the house. Forget that, So.
No, wait, you got to clarify, man. So
I
didn't
gotta
say
clarify.
talk about, hold up. I didn't say
you said have scripture to
you go let me finish this sentence. I didn't say talk about this particular thing, just what we were going to discuss, which is the whole thing on why good things happen to bad people.
No, that's what I'm saying.
Okay, well, you mentioned that. All right, never mind. Y'all know what I'm talking about, right?
But that's what I said. I said you were supposed you said that's what prompted my comment because you said that's a great topic, but we just got to make sure we have the scriptural support behind
the topic.
The topic.
Right. No, you had just got through talking about what happened to our friend.
Yeah.
But
that was
thing.
the
So that wasn't what I needed.
it.
Yeah. I didn't need scripture for that, but we need scripture for why good things happen to bad people because that sometimes is controversial because, some people say you're not supposed to question God or question anything that happens. And he's the author of everything.
Not that he necessarily answers.
Except for confusion. He is not the author of confusion.
But anyway, but that story was the inciting, I guess, incident of coming up with the theme idea.
I love the theme idea. I think we should still, after we talk to Jackie,
we can play it
and Jasir,
let's see what
whose
the
name
Holy
I got
Spirit
right.
takes
I'm so proud of me. Hi, yay me. Come on, give me
five. I help you work on that. So I guess we should go to.
She just take credit for that. Now y'all know this one right here.
I know. I always butcher
5 names in 2 seconds. All right, Jasir and Jackie. It's Jackie Camouche, but we call her Jackie Nicole. Jackie Nicole Camouche. I said that right.
And Jasir Franklin.
And Jasir Franklin. So they're with us.
It's such an honor.
And we're going to talk about Saturday, February 28th with, which is going to be a Simply Wholesome. We're going to let them embellish on that. It's the Culture Fest, 2015 Culture Fest. And because I need to get my nails done, I'm really not trying to show y'all my nails right now. We're going to do like that. Put up nubs. Okay. So we'll get back to that. All right. We're going to break. I'm
Trisha
right back.
I'm Rob Williams.
I love you.
Yeah, I love you too.
We the head, not the tail, so we won't complain. Here to lift up the downcast and the broken hearted. Changing lives with the truth, so let's get it started. We got the word, music, entertainment, life. You can catch us on the air every Sunday night with special guests, the news, and interesting stories. A platform for the kingdom to give God the glory. Worldwide, and we live on the Ustream. What you know about the Gospel Rhythms magazine? But God's in it, you don't gotta chase dreams. You need to check us out and see what we mean.
Catch the vision.
Okay.
Heaven's party. Here on earth, make it play. Gospel rhythms. Catch the vision. Heaven's party. Here on earth.
We got singers, rappers, spoken word, and actors, and business owners, playwrights, and pastors. There's many gifts to encourage the body. Consider this an invitation, come and kick it and party. We're evolving the way we deliver the gospel. Same message, different method, redefined apostles. And through Christ, we're empowered to shine. Everybody's VIP, ain't no way in the line. GospelRhythms.com. We make the word jam, the beat to which we live. We about to take the land. Let them know about Jesus, the anointed one. Gave us power and authority to get it done. He opens doors, so you don't gotta kick them down. I wrote this to remind you, so stick around. For heaven party here on earth. Praise God always, and we keeping them first.
Gospel rhythms. Catch the vision. Heaven's party.
Hey, hey, hey. Are we back on camera? What's up? Welcome back. This is gospelrhythms.com, Talk Live Radio on latalklive.com. I'm Ro Williams.
Hey, I'm Trisha Mann Grant. Oh, there
This
I
is
am.
like our
All right.
Super Bowl, Black History Month, all, you name it edition. And,
This is so cool.
Look at
this.
Exhibit A.
And that's
You have
not
to
my
pan
phone.
it.
This is Richard's phone, and I won't repeat what he said because it wasn't very gospel
Well,
rhythm.
Man, whatever. It don't matter how
Look at
dated your
this.
phone is. You
How
can pull
cool
a
is
sip.
this? Okay, so it's dated, but we
It
can
works.
see on the cell phone, and then there's Veneric's phone. These
We're
are our
mobile.
bosses here. Our bosses have us actually on the phone. Ooh,
G5.
is my hair sticking out like that?
Oh, my
Lord, help me,
goodness.
Jesus. I'm looking crazy there.
We're
y'all.
mobile.
All right. Hey. How
Hey, you
cool
supposed to get a
is that?
picture. Vanna Black.
Yeah, come on, Van Black. That's Imani.
You got Imani. Imani like.
Imani Nakia. Come on, take a picture, Imani.
We're
Nakia.
mobile, Imani. Yay! This is a blessing. We are looking to just expand the vision, and although we are in on the West Coast, we have LA. We have
This is so cool.
Atlanta Talk Live, New Orleans Talk Live, Miami Talk Live, Chicago Talk Live, Tampa
Yeah.
Talk Live, Boston Talk Live, Oakland Talk Live, Houston Talk Live, Seattle Talk Live, and we're worldwide on the Ustream. So for those of you who may be at the Super Bowl at a Super Bowl party or enjoying that, pull us up on your smartphone or your laptop.
That was some pretty
Check us
cool
out.
harmony that we had there.
Oh,
Going.
look at God!
I know. I like that. We'll have to work on that. We'll have to start a
Yeah.
group or something. Okay, Richard, thank you for letting us
Should I
use
give you
your
phone
phone.
back? Thank you.
And actually, I'm going to give you Richard's phone, too.
So.
I thought I needed to
Man,
update.
we were blessed today to have Indigenous Rhythms presents their 2015 Culture Fest.
Saturday, February 28th, 10 a.m. to 9 p.m.
And if you're in California and the Los Angeles area, there's this wonderful eatery. It's just called Simply Wholesome, and the name really says it all. Especially, I mean, granted, I'm not necessarily into all the healthy kind of foods, but they really have some great foods there that someone who's a junk food addict like myself can really appreciate and enjoy. So if you live in the Los Angeles area, check, save the date, February 28th, and we'll have them give more about the time, when it starts, when it finishes, what's exactly going on. But without further ado, let's introduce
Okay.
our guests.
Introducing Jackie Camouche.
Jackie Nicole, represented in a beautiful yellow. Woo, to my left and to my right, Jasir Franklin.
Jasir.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Man,
I think I should get paid for that. What do you think? I mean,
We
that's
are
pretty
getting
good.
paid.
Yeah, we're gonna get paid.
having credits.
Okay, yo,
I
I'll give
just
you
have
my
to transfer the
address.
dead presidents
Okay.
into our account.
That's right. Hey, how are you?
Wonderful, and you?
Yeah, good. You look great, girl. I haven't seen you in a while, but you look great.
You know everybody,
You.
Trisha.
Yeah.
Always.
No, not everybody. I don't know your cousin JoJo. I know. You talked about him, but I don't know JoJo. Me neither. All right. So you're doing this. You're doing a lot of stuff. Talk to us about the 2015 Culture Fest and invite everyone out and tell them what it's all about.
Well, it is on February 28th, as you guys mentioned. It's actually sponsored by Cadillac Martin. We partnered with Simply Wholesome as well as Brother Jay from X Clan. And we're looking to bring back culture into our community. We have a lot of business owners that are Black owned that will be there because we want to show that we're more than entertainers. We're also business owners. So we have vendors, we have music, we have dance. Lulu Washington's dance school will be there.
Nice.
And we'll be there from 10 to 9. So we're really looking forward to bringing something to the community. It's only $5.
That's a really good deal.
$5, and you're getting like good. You're getting good entertainers. You're getting well-known entertainers. And I know Jasir could share more about our entertainers that we have coming on.
Ooh,
Now-
y'all got Jasir.
Well, we have, like she said, X Clan, Brother Jay from X Clan, Mad Lion, the flyer. Let's get the flyer out.
Battle Cat.
DJ
Yeah,
Battlecat,
that's
Sir
what
Jinx
it
will be there doing a set. My brother Mark Love will be there. Medusa, Supernatural. A lot of positive oriented artists will be there for sure. Yeah.
Now,
yeah.
there's a story before this story that's going to be happening February 28th. So what was it that led not only you two to come together, but for you two to come together to do this. Like, what was the inspiration? And are the company, the Indigenous Rhythms, are you business partners in that venture?
Yeah.
Okay, so can you share a little bit more, because somebody might be viewing and they may not be in California, but they're like, that sounds like a great idea. How can I put something like that together? And so, could you share a little bit about that?
Well, this whole idea came together because I was tired of going to the everyday places to party, hang out and stuff, and it was pretty much mundane to me. And I wanted to go somewhere that was, for one, I can have something healthy to eat if I wanted something to eat, and listen to the type of music I wanted to listen to. And it doesn't exist in LA. So I said, I'm going to try to do it myself. So I've been throwing these functions for the last year or so, bringing that together. And we had one big one. Me and Jacqueline came together for this last one we did called a RBG costume party back in October, where we had African Bambaataa come out and we had Brother Jay perform. So after that function, Brother Jay gave me a call the next day. He wanted to get together to do something, but I had already had an idea for this. And I told him about it, and he wanted to get together. And he brought his group, which is called Culture United, and we made it happen.
Very good.
Now, I hear you say Simply Wholesome. Is that the venue where all of these concerts
Yes.
are going to be
Yes,
taking place?
Yes.
Okay.
It'll be in the parking lot. We'll have the parking lot shut down. The vendors will be off of the Overhill parking lot, and the stage where the entertainment will be off of the Slauson parking lot.
Now, when you do that, do you have to get permits and stuff from the city? or?
yes.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Mhm.
You have to
So-
have permits. You have to have insurance for the event as well, because if anything happens, you want to make sure that you're covered.
How many
Gotcha.
people are you expecting?
About 1,500 people.
That's all. Just
That's all.
1,500.
Yeah, that's it. Just that's it.
Well, how many vendors do you have? And is it too late if somebody's listening and they have a business and they want to plug in?
We can definitely plug them in. We still would love to have vendors. We're looking to have about 20 to 30 vendors. So
Sponsors too.
and sponsors too. Yes, we love sponsors.
Well, you said that real loud, Jasir. I didn't have to tell you to pull up to the
I ain't
microphone.
mad at you on that.
Sponsors.
So what's the information so we can pass it on?
We may be reached at info@Indigenous Rhythms, and I'll spell that.
Good idea.
It's INDIGENOUS Rhythms, just like gospel rhythms. The RHYTHMS.com.
Cool.
Y'all trying to be like us.
Yeah, see how spirit works.
Like mine.
Anything with the
Like
rhythm.
spirit. It's like spirit working.
I love it. I love it. That's great. So, okay, you guys, please come out. There I am. All right. Please come out to the 2015 Culture Fest. We want to talk a little bit to our brother Jasir over here, Jasir Franklin, because he just shared something with us during commercial break, pretty much on the topic of what Rowan and I were discussing earlier as we were speaking to all of our sisters out there of all nationalities when it comes to relationships and marriages and dealing with their children. And he shared his experience with us, so I'd love for him to share it since he's here, because he said I should have been on that show last week. We said why? And he said,
Wait, and for those of you who just joining us, it was the Trisha Mann, it was the Man Talk show topic. Just giving them some backstory.
Oh,
to
the
just tuning
topic
in.
was men who want to be good fathers but can't see their children. Good dads with bad reps, basically.
Courtesy of the ex.
Right,
Yeah,
right.
buddy.
So we had a panel full of men, a lot of wonderful men that really just want to spend time with their children without all the craziness and the drama. But unfortunately, they're being lied on. The police are being called on them, and they're going through a lot and can't even see the kids. And that's all they really want.
And Jasir, you have a different twist than some of the ones we've heard, the other members that were on her show. Explain a little bit about what you're currently dealing with in the midst of, doing, your vision and projects.
Well, as far as that goes, that's a long story, but I'll give you the brief synopsis of it. My son is a teenager, and I've always been in his life, his whole life, basically from birth. I cut his umbilical cord. But me and his mother, we pretty much had a volatile relationship for the whole time. But over years, it kind of got better. I thought it was getting better at least. But I think she wanted to be back with me for whatever reason, and I didn't want to do that because she kept making little hints here and there, and I would tell her, like, no, that's not going to happen. But after I told her the last time, she started doing certain things. She started trying to get child support on me. Real tough. Even though I take care of him, she don't pay for anything, right? But when that didn't work, she chose to go the ultimate route. And she had him, well, first of all, he was getting in trouble in school. I'm a type of father. I go to his school all the time, pick him up, take him to lunch, talk to his teachers, that type of stuff. So I saw that his grades were like going south. So I started like talking to his teachers and trying to get in his head to see what was wrong. But I talked to his mother. She wouldn't talk to me about it. So I was by myself on this fight. And you know how kids are. When they see two parents are not on the same path, they kind of like play against each other. You know what I mean? So he started doing that. So the last time I had him and I saw he had like about, I'm not even playing, like 3 fails on his report card. And the kid is really smart. This is not his forte. He never has had failed in his life. So I tried to get with him on it. He got kind of unruly. And I was a father at that point. I chastised him. His mother decided to tell the police that I abused him. And then she had him to go to court, actually, because she filed like for a case against me. And she had him to tell the court that I beat him with all kind of instruments, belt buckles, and whatever I had in my hand, I beat him with, which was never true. So, again, the judge took my parental rights in the process, and I have not seen him. It's been a year now, since last January, last time I seen him.
So they had no proof on his
No
body? Did they even try to attain proof? Did they take pictures or examine him physically? She
took him to a police station like a couple of days after I dropped him off from the incident that happened. The police found no bruises. They called me and interviewed me over the phone, but he actually told me, yes, you do have a right to chastise your child as long as you don't overdo it. And he checked it out, but they had nothing.
Did they put that in writing? Do you
They
have
did.
a report?
They did. I have a report.
You physically have that
I had the report.
So have you talked to an attorney with your report to see what kind of rights you have or how you can fight that?
I did. And basically their answer was that since it's the judge do what they want to do. Attorney or not, it doesn't really matter. For me, what I saw in the court that day, that judge didn't want a black kid to have a black father. He had no other reason to do what he did. None whatsoever.
There should be something where we could like sue the judge or something for
Right. Well,
malpractice,
That's
or whatever you want to
EL
call it. I'm
Right.
just like-
EL has made a petition and asked people to, from last week's show, Evan Lionel, who's going through this right now, he, put a petition about the judge and even the lawyer, for her attorney, and is trying to do what he can as far as that's concerned. But it's rough. It's really rough because they're in the higher.
Yeah, it is. It is because I had an incident where my daughter, I was in the bed at 9:00. I gave my daughter a certain time to come in, which she did, and she didn't let me know that she had a girlfriend. She goes in her room and then starts to go back downstairs. So I'm like, well, where you going? I'm going back out. No, you're not. So by that time, I had met her by the steps, and I grabbed her by the arm, like, no, you ain't going. Her girlfriend got scared and ran out the crib. Boom. Right? She goes and tells her mom that, Erica's dad,
Is
gripped her up or something like that. So the cops came. A female cop and a male cop came. And I told them what happened. I said, no daughter of mine is going to be hanging out in the street after I'm in bed.
Right.
And the female told my daughter, he said, young lady, you better be glad that's all your dad did do was grip you
Exactly.
up.
Right.
You know what I mean? And then they left, and then Children's Services came and talked to my daughter and found that it was
that she
bogus. It was all bogus, and and they left us alone. But like he was saying,
so you're telling me that the friend's mother is the one that called the police instead of as an adult
calling you to verify, if
right?
you, unless you,
but still, I mean,
that's a female for you. Not to say, but that's how she is as a female. That's this particular woman.
No, but seriously, women can take being scorned to another level, and it's so sad because once again, she may not view it right now, but like for instance, you're doing these wonderful things. Your mini me should be riding shotgun, learning and gleaning everything that he can learn from you.
Exactly.
And as women that are out there that either are in the situation or know someone in the situation, you have to really get back from the pain of the situation to see exactly how your child is missing out. Now, it's not like he's out there committing crimes, selling drugs, or because unfortunately there are some fathers that they don't really have it together, and maybe their influence isn't the best, and it's not this situation to say that they're being deprived an opportunity to see their child. They're just not trying to see their child because they've learned in the street. There's plenty of them out there, just like there are plenty of women out there too that are, that are towing the same line. But in this case, it's like, and I have to applaud you that you haven't allowed the heaviness and the disappointment of that's major, like to cripple you from still being proactive in pursuing a dream and to doing something positive in the community. And even though and hopefully you capture all this on video, and at some point when he matures and becomes independent for real, he's gonna find a moment in life where God will probably present him with that. He's gonna need you and need to come back.
You know what? And speaking of that, since we are here on air, like I did with the guys last week, I had them each just say something, a sentence or two, just to tell their kids, give their kids a message. If their child could see this show, and it could be in the future that he could watch this, because this will be on YouTube and on gospelrhythms.com.
Or you could send him the link.
Or you can send him the link when you think he's ready and he can watch it. What would you say to your son? What do you want him to know about you and your love for him?
That's a deep question. Think about it every morning, actually. Basically, that I love you to death, brother. I forgive you for what you did. I was mad at first for about a couple of days. It was painful to watch your child get up there and just lie on you. But I know it wasn't coming from him. But I forgive you for what you did. I'm here. The door is open. You want to call me, my number has not changed, and hopefully it never will, but you can call me at any time, and the door is open for communication to rebuild the relationship.
If there's someone out there that wants to help you in your situation, is watching right now, and they have the ability or they know someone who can help you, do you have an email address that they can reach out to you? Or even the email address can also be for your son, but because you need some help when fighting this situation. And I don't know exactly what steps you're taking right now, but would you be willing?
I haven't taken any recently because, I could still go see him like 2 days a month.
Supervised?
Not supervised. I got to pick him up, but I got to drop him back off in the same day. He can't spend the night with me. But I haven't gone back because I can't trust the situation. Like, I don't know if he's going to lie. I pick him up, he go back and tell his mother something, then I got a case to fight.
You ever think of having a chaperone? And do you stay connected with him on the social network media so that he can still sense that you have a interest in the president in his life?
I haven't been able to talk to him. His mother changed the phone number. His phone that he had was cut off. I have no communication with.
Just a suggestion.
Okay, I'm listening.
Write him letters that he may not get. God knows when he'll get them.
Or if he'll get them.
We pray one day he will. Write them anyway. Write these letters. I don't care if they pile up this high. Every time you feeling some type of way up in here and you need to release and you have something to say to him, or values or ethics or morals that you want to instill in him, whatever it is that God gives you, write it down and put it in the envelope and just put it to the side. Okay.
And most kids have Facebook and social media like that.
I'm just telling you what just came to me.
No, I'm saying that in terms of just like if he can't get in touch with him on his cell phone because he says he doesn't have a way.
Yeah, but
he can send him a message.
Legally, sometimes because of his situation, that may be a little sensitive. I don't know what they told you as far as reaching out to him.
No,
is that okay?
It's no restrictions on that part.
Yeah,
no.
He could just send a message to him, say, "Hey, here's my number. I don't know your number." So, 'cause the main thing is because unfortunately, with the ex having planted the seeds, a lot of time a child will interpret no communication is no effort on your part to communicate, that they don't see their role in it, and then the constant berating they may be getting on the mother's side, it just continues to further deepen the cavern that you guys will have to try to bridge back.
Just in case she's monitoring his Facebook page and she may be intercepting those messages, you may want to either do that email or, like I suggested, write it down on a piece of paper for him to read one day. But yeah, emails, of course, that's more an up-to-date thing. Sometimes writing is just so much more personal. and intimate. But in case she even intercepts the emails, but the thing about emails is you can always go back and say, look.
I did that.
Technically, the Facebook messages too, but you can always go back and say, here. So, yeah, I want to talk to.
Before you go there, let me say something to you as man to man. And this is how powerful the power of God. There was times with my daughter, with her mother, I didn't know where they was at, had no way to call them, anything like that, and it would be months, and God somehow, some way, brought me together with my daughter, and like she said, just do those things and just have to give it to God, because he's going to become a young man, younger man, and he's going to seek you out. Mm-hmm. And like she said, all these the letters, write it down and just hand it to him then, because he's going to, eventually he's going to come and seek you out and find out for himself. Mm-hmm. All right, Dad, what's the truth?
Right.
Are you that messed up? Were you that messed up, and that's why you was out of my life? No, I'm just saying. Or what's going on? Because whatever his mom's is saying to him, he's going to come. He's going to come in and come,
try to
find out from the horse's mouth, as they say.
Yeah, that's right.
And it may be precipitated by a need, because kids usually come out the woodwork when they want or need something. But whatever it is that God uses to be that catalyst to force him to that conversation, like he said, give it to God, don't give up. Because I know a lot of times as parents, Mom be like, I just throw my hands up, don't know what to do with this child. And sometimes that season of separation is a needed thing, because sometimes you need to get out of the immediate emotion of that courtroom experience that just make you want to shake somebody real good, as Chris Rock said.
Yeah. And it's all right when those feelings of, damn, what's up with my son? Because that's what,
that's normal.
It happened to me. I'm like, damn, what's going on with my daughter? I'm pissed now. I can't see her. I don't know where she at. And that's just the devil, putting thoughts in my head. And then God would just I would go weeks without thinking about it, and then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, it pops up, and I start thinking about it. Of course, I dwell a little bit, but then God would just take it away, boom, and then all of a sudden, one day, He brings us together. But,
I know. When I was 18, I sought my father. He moved out here to California. I'm from Chicago, so I was in Chicago. And I just remember calling him and just saying, hey, look, I need to talk about what happened with you and Mom, why you guys got divorced when I was 10, and why didn't you make it to my recital, and why didn't you come to this event and the father-daughter dance, and all the things he missed that really hurt me, or you didn't call me on this birthday and that birthday, things that were so important to me that I needed my dad. And he wasn't ready to talk at that time. You seem like a whole nother person. Hold on, we had a Super Bowl moment.
We have a halftime
14
update
to 14.
And there's no deflate gate this game. Hey, second quarter, 14. No, halftime. Oh, it's the second quarter.
It's second quarter.
Second quarter.
14 to 14. All right. I don't know who you for today.
I'm not for the Patriots.
I'm
not for the Patriots. I'm for the Seahawks.
Yeah,
but we
actually,
have this beautiful lady.
Too. Right, we do. And I want to talk to her. But real quick, let me say this before I forget. The letters don't have to be long. It could just be something that comes to you that you just want to tell them. It could be half a page, whatever. Write it down, date it, always date it. And just make sure you give it to Daddy. I want to talk to Jackie because she's a female representing for the females. And the last several shows, we've been focusing on the guys. And I'm just curious to know what, with all that we've just discussed and all that we've been talking about. I mean, really, I really want your honest opinion. I don't know what
you
your
definitely have a
story
supportive
is,
role.
but what's your opinion of all of this?
Well, I'm a child of divorce, and I grew up hearing my mom talk about my dad. So she planted a seed as far as my father is concerned. And at the age of 12, when I lived with him, I actually didn't have any respect for him. Fortunately, she moved to New York when I turned 17, and I was living with my dad. So I had the last 17 plus years to actually build with him, and he's now my best friend.
Could you share some of the things that the seeds that your mom would say?
She talked about how much he gave for child support and how much he didn't care and how much he wasn't really around to support, but it was really more her mouth and her hate and anger that made him not come around. And I feel that a lot of women are scorned, and they are handling these situations very immature. And the emotions behind things are really destroying children, because they're growing up and they're not respecting the opposite sex, whether it's a daughter or whether it's a son. And I know that there's some men out there that really aren't there for their children. So this can go both ways, because I actually have a god brother that's taking care of his son. You know, so it can go both ways. But really, the mother, the woman, is the one that is the nurturer. So for us to be the main ones doing this, we're not nurturing the way we're supposed to nurture. So
it's like a vicious cycle.
Yeah,
What the
and
world?
it's really a cycle that I can take it back to, some may say, the Willie Lynch letter. And a seed that's been planted for a long time. So it's a lot of healing that needs to take place, not only in the black community, but overall, because it's affected so many different people. But our community, I think, really suffers the most.
And for those that are not aware, the Willie Lynch letter, meaning conquer and divide in one
Yes.
community, to conquer. And so that's what the women are doing basically with these children. They're dividing them from the love that they should have and the respect, because respect is huge, that they should have for their fathers. So what do you suggest, though, as a woman? How can we help the other women out there become more nurturing and focus on their children? What would you tell them? What advice would you give?
You said something earlier, when your girlfriend comes to you talking about stuff, don't listen. I mean, you can listen, but try to be that sound voice. And I have a perfect example of that. I had a friend that was doing that with her ex-husband, and he was trying to see his children. And I said, look, I love you. I want to listen to you, but I'm tired of listening to you, because either you're going to let him be there for his kids and you're going to let go of the emotion of you guys not being together, or you're going to just let him let him be. Let him be there. And ironically, she did take my advice, and sadly, he died in a car accident 2 weeks after I told her that.
Wow.
Maybe about a month. So if I wouldn't have shared that with her, then he wouldn't have had the opportunity to build with his children or his child before he died.
So wait, hold up. Why do good things happen why do bad things happen to good people? Even though we didn't have a chance to really focus on that topic, we'll have to pick that up next time.
Wow.
As he was talking, I was thinking that. Why do bad things happen to good people? He just wants to be a good dad. Why? Lord have mercy.
Right. So it's like you have to really stop living in the past. We as women have to stop living in the past.
And stop holding on to hurt. Because forgiveness imprisons your unforgiveness, keeps you in prison, keeps you in bondage, and it affects your health. You know, you know what I mean? And it's like,
I'm listening.
You have to, as much as it might pain you, do it for the greater good for the child. Like you said, you were a sounding board for her. You let her vent, but at some point you had to sow seeds of wisdom that were going to benefit everybody in the long run. And some of those benefits the woman doesn't get to see, because she does not have the benefit of the man's love anymore. But she has to be okay with that. Sometimes rejection is God's protection. And you have to embrace sometimes the hurt and the pain as a catalyst that God is using to elevate your life to a better level, if you just cooperate with the process.
The process to get you to the progress, which will take you to your promise. And Pastor Sanchez of the Covenant, our pastor, said today in service, he said, where we've been has everything to do with where we are going. And God is taking us somewhere, but we have to let him. We have to really submit. We have to really have faith, which, is still something I have challenges with. Because when we see things with the natural eye, if we're being hurt or we're upset and he's not acting right, we want to just either be vindictive, or I don't have vindictiveness in me, but a lot of people do. We want to be vindictive, or we want them to hurt too. But if we have enough faith in God's plan for us and his purpose for us, and we walk in that, then we can just rest. Like he said last Sunday, rest in the storm. He said, you know you trust God when you're able to rest in your storm. Can you imagine that? It's storming outside. And it's like, I'm going to bed. Good night, night, night. Or we can go, it's storming outside. Oh, Lord, are the windows going to break? Oh, Father, is the roof going to come in? Oh, Jesus, is my car going to make it through the night?
Yeah.
We can worry, we can stress out, or we can just rest in the storm. And in resting in it, giving it to God, He has dominion over what we're giving Him, because technically it's already His. And that goes with everything, our children, our relationships, our hurt, our pain. So it's a process, ladies and guys.
And you know what?
Yeah.
I think when I was listening to you, a big part of the problem is we don't want to cooperate, go along, partner with God in the process, because we don't understand the concept of postponed gratification. We want what we want right now.
Right.
We need the love right now. Well, you're not going to get it because He don't want you no more. So you got to be okay with not getting that. But for the greater good of harmony with your child's life, and setting aside your own feelings and your own desires and your own hurt and your own pain, just trust that, it will pay off in the long run later. But for now, you're doing what is best for now, even though you don't see it, even though you don't see the immediate benefits right now.
Right.
Just know that there is a cost associated with bringing on, just like with EL, he had $50,000. Now, you didn't see that on day one, but on day 12 months from the time you started the fight, it's a costly fight, and it you might think it just cost him, but it costs the family, and most importantly, the kids are the ones that suffer.
All right.
Did we get an
okay,
update?
we had another Super Bowl update. Now hold on. How you going from 14 to 14
I know. I made a mistake. I meant to. It was 7-7.
It was
Tied.
7-7.
But now,
Somebody's math is really hard.
but it's 14-7.
Did someone text you and go hello?
Wait, is it the Patriots are winning?
Yeah, the Patriots.
You got us up here putting up false
yeah.
scores.
And I
getting
couldn't
people
break in.
excited.
I couldn't break in because the conversation was so interesting. And I
Lord,
apologize.
Forgive us. It's
Correction.
Benaric's fault.
That was my fault.
We are throwing him under the bus because he gave us a bad score. Okay, so the score is actually 14-7, and it's Seahawks. Okay.
Well, we'll end in
Patriots.
enough time for everybody to make it to their Super Bowl
Second
party.
quarter.
But before we do, we got to get back to talking about this event.
We
too.
are. We had the Super Bowl moment, girl. We're gonna break in and out the Super Bowl moment. You know?
No, I was saying we'll get it. We'll have enough time to make it to our respective Super Bowl parties.
Oh,
that's
will
what I said.
we?
Yeah, because the show's almost over.
So let me see.
And it's only halftime.
Okay, so it's only halftime. We're gonna miss the halftime entertainment show.
Not if we pull up
Who's
it on our
performing?
smartphones, honey.
Oh, that's right.
So she got an iPhone. I got a
You go,
Samsung.
down. Don't let me hang.
Oh
Don't
yeah,
let me
there it
hang.
is.
All right. So, we do have a few minutes left. You guys, thank you for coming on. Look at God. We didn't even have any guests today.
Well, you know what we did. That's another
We
thing.
did.
Trust the process,
I
because
know.
I said to Trisha, no, we just gonna come.
We're just gonna,
just
she
gonna
sure did.
show up.
And I looked at her like she was crazy.
She showed it.
Because it's Super Bowl Sunday.
But thank God the Super Bowl party got
it's
canceled.
It's not about that, because we were supposed to be here anyway. The Super Bowl party did get
Yeah, you
canceled.
did. She was like,
I
yeah.
haven't had a Super Bowl party, but his
party
son
got
is
canceled.
Yeah. Okay. Wow. Imani Nakia, I know I said you're going to come on the show today, but just come real quick, show your face, and say hi to everybody.
Peter
I've
Gabriel.
adopted this girl.
Woo.
Peter Gabriel is
love you.
our intern and assistant. But come on, kneel down here. What, you trying to kill me?
He's
What's
our
going
sales
on?
associate.
Say hi,
Love the braids,
everybody.
girl.
I know, didn't she? Is such a cutie. This is my adopted baby sister here. She's absolutely just a beautiful dancer and wonderful young woman, woman of God, a wife, and yes, she is.
Photographer.
Say hi real quick. She does the pictures
As long as
for
she
us
gets her
here in the
skinny
studio.
side.
Did you take some good pictures today?
I did.
You did talking to the
Bro, I got the
microphone?
skinny side.
You've been here long enough. You know you're supposed to talk to that microphone.
Hi, how y'all doing? I hope everybody's having a great Sunday, and go Patriots.
Boo! Oh, you can get off the camera now. That was it. She had us at until she said, "Go Patriots."
Go Cowboys.
So again, if you're just joining us or you just tuned in, or if you've been here the whole show, 2015 Culture Fest Saturday, save the date, February 28th, 10 a.m., 9 p.m. in the Los Angeles area. It's going to be at the venue, Simply Wholesome Restaurant. Make sure you bring your money, because not only is there a lot of great food, but vendors will be there. Support the community. This is Black History Month, and there are what would you say as far as the live performances, everything from the genres of music, the scope of the genres of music? Is it all neo soul kind of music, or what categories would you put it in?
Some good soul music, definitely hip hop, because Brother Jay is from hip hop, but conscious hip hop, the good stuff.
Yeah,
you know some of his stuff. Can you spit a few lyrics for
Oh
us?
my God,
come
really?
Come on, you need a beat.
Brother Jay, grand verbalizing. What time is it? That's all I got for you. Yeah.
Oh, that was good.
And it's $5. It's the best date.
$5.
You can bring your date on, the fattest date you can bring your date on.
And the $5 goes to the Trisha Mann Grant Foundation.
Oh, this is a family event, so you can bring the entire family.
Yes, we'll have a kids zone as well. And actually, some of the proceeds will be going to a nonprofit organization, so we're working on that.
I know the Trisha Mann Grant organization. I'm not saying it. I know myself saying it.
For more information, you can visit the website indigenousrhythms.com or info. You can email them, especially if you're a sponsor or a vendor and would like to get plugged in, saying, "Hey, it's Black History Month. You got a whole month of promotion that you can get underway." We're gonna give a shout out to some of their. You can shout out some of the sponsors of the event now.
The primary sponsor for this one is Martin Cadillac out of West LA.
I heard that.
I like his name.
What's that, Martin Cadillac?
Cadillac. I like that Cadillac name.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's the primary sponsor.
Yeah.
Primary sponsor.
You leave his number with us, all right?
And California Ticketmasters and Undeniable Inc. are also sponsors in there too.
All right.
And you know what? If you don't happen to be in the Los Angeles area and you're tuning in worldwide and you'd like to bring something like this to your community, I mean, these are the people that have planned it here. You can get more information. And will this be streamed at all? By the way,
you know what?
We
have
haven't
to do that, though. You're streaming there.
And next time you should have Gospel Rhythms come out and interview some people. Come on,
it's
what's
on
the
the
deal?
28th.
About that.
Yeah,
Here's a
talk
flyer.
off camera on that.
Here's a flyer. Hold on to that.
So you
All right,
can
listen,
hit them
guys.
up at info@indigenousrhythms.com.
INDIGENOUS RHYTHMS. Some people don't know how to spell rhythm.
Oh, trust me, indigenous might be a hard one too.
Everybody's
Why you playing? Why you playing?
You know, I still have moments with rhythms. I'm like, is the R, Y? And I think I'm a pretty good speller, but I mess that up sometimes. Okay, and the number 855-452-7685 is the number for more info. 855-452-7685. Do you have a Facebook page or YouTube you want to share with everyone?
Yes, it's the Indigenous Rhythms Events Facebook page, and you can find us there.
Yay.
Okay, and what about you guys? Have a personal one that you want to share? Since you're here?
Instagram, Facebook.
Me is Jasir Franklin on Facebook.
Okay.
All right.
Jasir,
Yeah.
Jasir.
Yeah,
I know his
JAS
name.
as in Sam IR.
I'm so special. And please go to youtube.com/Trisha Mann TV, TRISHAMANN TV. I need some more subscribers, y'all. I really do. So please go.
Oh yeah, you like us on Facebook, Gospel
Right.
Rhythms, and
I'm just keeping it
Instagram,
real.
Gospel Rhythms, and Facebook. What do you call it? Yeah, GRTV, Gospel Rhythms Television, on YouTube.
Yes.
On that note, thank you. Happy Super Bowl Sunday.
Happy
Go
Sunday.
Seahawks.
Trisha Mann Grant.
Roy Williams.
Thank you.
In the house with Indigenous Rhythms.
Yeah. And Veneric, we love you.
Thank you, Richard, for bringing our guests.
We make the word jam, the beat to which we live. We about to take the land. Let them know about Jesus, the anointed one. Gave us power and authority to get it done. He opens doors, so you don't gotta kick them down. I wrote this to remind you, so stick around. For heaven party here on earth. Praise God always, and we keeping them first.
Gospel rhythms, cast a vision.